I wanted to do a quick check-in and make sure everybody knows we have the midterm coming up next week. You should all be practicing for it and studying for it. And the midterm is taken in a proctored setting. Your midterm must be taken in a proctored setting. So either in the PVCC testing center located in the Q building. Now that's incredibly important. If you show up to the other testing center on the main campus, they will not know what you're talking about. You have to come to the Q building first. Then, if you cannot come to the Q building to take your test, you do have the option to use a service called ProctorU. When you click on this link, it takes you to ProctorU. You can learn all about them here. And the key thing to ProctorU is knowing if you have to have high-speed internet, you have to have a camera because they're going to look at you. They're going to verify you are who you say you are. They're going to ask you to scan the room, make sure there's nobody else in the room helping you, show the desk, etc., etc. They do a pretty extensive job making sure you're in a proctored environment. And the other thing is if there's any fees associated with using ProctorU, you do have to pay those. The school unfortunately cannot foot the bill on those. So those are your options. Now, if you use ProctorU, you are going to need to upload your images of your work. Upload images of your work within 30 minutes to your OneNote folder, like we did for our first test. So make sure you are prepared to do that. Now, the next thing I will say is, I'm going to come back to that in a second. For doing your problems, I highly recommend, don't do them in highlighter. I highly recommend do one problem per page because I need your work in order. So if you do everything on one page and then you decide, oh, I'm going to skip problem 3 and I'm going to go into problem 4, but you didn't leave enough space, that doesn't work. That's very difficult on me to grade. So one problem per page, unless you are 100% sure you are good, you're not going to need more space, you're not going to have to scratch anything out, you're not going to, that doesn't work. Now, the reason I like one problem per page is, let's say you get to problem 4 and you need to skip it. Well, you go skip it. You go on to problem 5, you go on to problem 6, and then later on you do problem number 4. Fantastic. Now, just when you put your pictures into OneNote, put that one in there and you're good to go. So there's that. Now, people who are doing the test in person don't have to submit work because your test is identical to the people who are in ProctorU. It's just your test is printed on paper. So when you get to campus, you tell them you're in Professor Dwork's MAT212, and you're the online course, and they will know exactly who you are. They're going to tell you have lockers for you to store your stuff. So and you'll be allowed to bring in your calculator and a pencil, and they'll hand you a test, and you'll just turn that test in when you're done. So I have your work. That being said, when can we take the test? You will notice it is available Monday of 3/7 and is due by 3/11. Now, these times are for the ProctorU test. So if you're in person, though, we're going to need to look at when our testing center is open. Our testing center has these hours here. The testing center is open Monday and Thursday, Monday and Thursday, 7:30 to 5. Tuesday and Wednesday, 7:30 to 7, and Friday, 7:30 to 2. Now, the test is 2 hours, so you can't come at 4:30 on, let's say on a Thursday, you can't come at 4:30 and saying, I want my 2 hours. No, you need to be here by 3, before 3, to make sure you have enough time to get yourself settled and have your full 2 hours to take the test. Okay? And last but not least, if there are any questions, ask. It is better to ask now than not feel ready and prepared and confident you know what's going to happen during the testing procedures. Okay? Best